Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're your shortcut to being truly well-informed.
That's right. We take a whole stack of headlines, research notes, all that stuff.
And we boil it down, find the connections, and give you the key takeaways.
Exactly. So today, we're diving into, well, a story that really blew up. The American Eagle stock surge.
Yeah. I mean, a fashion brand stock jumping almost 23% overnight. That's pretty wild.
And the trigger, an ad, sure, but also a really high-profile endorsement from a former president. It just shows how everything's connected.
It really does. Culture wars, economics, politics. It's all tangled up.
And that's our mission here, isn't it? To unpack these big events, show you those surprising links, those undercurrents shaping things, basically give you that aha moment.
Okay, let's get straight into it then. The Sydney Sweeney ad saga for American Eagle.
Right. So they released this video. Sydney Sweeney, popular actress.
Yeah.
She's wearing their jeans denim jacket.
Seems pretty standard, yeah. A typical fashion ad.
You'd think so. But it wasn't just the clothes. It was this very specific pun she delivered.
Ah, the jeans versus jeans line.
Exactly. She says, genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color.
Okay.
My genes are blue. And then the camera pans to her blue eyes.
And that was the spark?
That was it. Social media just lit up. People saying it comes close to promoting eugenics, or that it implied, blonde hair, blue eyes. Mm-hmm. Those genes are somehow better.
Wow. Eugenics. That's a heavy accusation.
It really is. I mean, it's tied to some truly awful historical practices. So, yeah, very potent.
And there was academic commentary, too.
Mm-hmm. Professor Shalini Shankar, an anthropologist at Northwestern, she weighed in, said she thought American Eagle was aligning themselves with a white nationalist, Magie-friendly identity.
So seeing it as a deliberate political signal.
Yeah, she felt the language is very deliberately used here, that it wasn't accidental.
Okay, so the ad's already sparking controversy, and then former President Trump weighs in. That must have just poured gasoline on the fire.
Oh, absolutely. He posts on Truth Social, calls it the hottest ad out there.
The hottest ad.
Yep, and claims the jeans are flying off the shelves. Go get them, Sydney.
And this came after reports about her voter registration.
Exactly. Reports she was registered Republican in Florida surfaced, and then came Trump's praise.
He didn't stop there, did he? He brought Taylor Swift into it.
He did, a direct comparison. Called Swift woke and said he hates her after she endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris.
And declared Swift no longer hot.
Right. It was quite the statement. And then he sort of broadened it out.
Yeah.
His post ended with, "The tide has seriously turned. Being woke is for losers. Being Republican is what you want to be. Thank you for your attention to this matter."
Wow. Just lays it out there. And the market reaction.
Incredible. American Eagle stock up nearly 23% that Monday after his post.
So what's the actual, mechanism there? It's more than just people liking the ad, right? How does a social media post translate into such a huge stock jump?
Well, it's fascinating, isn't it? You have this cultural flashpoint, right? Mm-hmm. The ad's controversial. Then a major political figure, Trump, steps in and basically paints it as anti-woke.
Right. He frames it politically.
Exactly. So it instantly becomes a symbol. For his supporters, buying the jeans, supporting the brand, it becomes a way to signal their own stance in the culture war.
Voting with their wallets.
Pretty much. And investors see this. They see a potentially energized customer base, maybe a shift in brand perception that taps into a large market segment.
And they pile in, driving the stock up?
Right. It's the politicization of consumption, amplified by social media and influential figures, creating real, immediate economic impact, almost instantly.
That is wild. And American Eagle's response to all this, they must have said something.
They did try to sort of dial it back, put out a statement saying, Sydney Sweeney has great genes, is and always was about the genes, her story.
Just focus on the product.
Yeah. We'll continue to celebrate how everyone wears their AE jeans with confidence their way, to trying to reclaim the narrative, basically.
But the political lines were already drawn, weren't they? Republican support came quickly.
Oh, definitely. You had VP J.D. Vance on the Ruthless podcast saying something like, Democrats should continue to tell everybody who thinks Sydney Sweeney is attractive is a Nazi. Pretty pointed.
Yeah, that's direct.
Senator Ted Cruz tweeted, "Wow, now the crazy left has come out against beautiful women. I'm sure that will poll well."
Okay.
And even the White House communications director, Stephen Chung, called the backlash cancel culture run amok and warped, moronic, and dense liberal thinking.
So really leaning into the culture war framing.
Absolutely. And Trump himself connected to other things, right, past woke controversy.
He did. Like what?
He brought up the Jaguar CEO resigning after a diversity-focused rebrand. Although Jaguar said that resignation was planned anyway. And, of course, the Bud Light boycott after the Dylan Mulvaney can in 2023. He's clearly drawing parallels, using this as another example.
Right. It fits a pattern he highlights. And wasn't there an incident with Sweeney herself?
Yeah, a brief thing. She was at film screening, and TMZ got footage of someone heckling her, calling the ad racist. So it followed her around a bit.
Man. So this whole saga really shows how potent these cultural fights can be in the marketplace. But let's pivot a bit. These aren't the only big shifts happening. Let's talk economy and policy. President Trump's tariff policies, for instance. That's been ongoing.
Indeed. Recently, there was a threat to substantially raise tariffs on India. The reason cited was India buying Russian oil.
And India's reaction.
They called it unjustified and unreasonable. It's part of a broader pattern, though. Trump signed an executive order raising tariffs on, I think, around 70 countries.
The goal being bringing industries back to the U.S.
That's the stated aim, yeah, bringing critical industries home. But there are warnings about the impact.
Like inflation.
It's exactly. Beth Hammack from the Cleveland Fed warned that prices could tick higher in 2025 because businesses will likely pass those tariff costs on to consumers. You know, basic economics.
Right. And what about the EU? Weren't they planning retaliatory tariffs?
They were, but they delayed them for 6 months. This came after a deal with the U.S., which itself included a 15% tariff on most goods coming from the EU. So it's complex. Lots of moving parts.
Okay, another big economic story, the jobs report controversy. President Trump fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Erica McIntyre.
Yeah, that was huge. He called the July jobs report rigged and then fired her.
Firing the head of the BLS, what does that do to, public trust in that data, especially when things are so politically charged?
That's the real danger, isn't it? Whether the report was technically flawed or not, the act itself, the political drama around it, can really erode confidence in these institutions. They're meant to be objective.
Was there pushback on the rigged claim?
Oh, yeah. Catherine Abraham, a former BLS commissioner, she pointed out that revisions to jobs reports are normal. She said they're a feature, not a bug, basically saying, this happens, it doesn't mean it's rigged.
So now the White House is looking for a new BLS chief.
Mm-hmm. Reports say they want someone with credibility and experience. This is all happening, while there are also reports the labor market itself might be slowing down, hitting a wall.
So a lot of pressure there. It really highlights that tension between politics and, objective data.
Absolutely. And just quickly on financial news, Tesla. Big news there.
Right. Elon Musk's pay package.
Yeah, a $29 billion stock package was awarded to him, which is interesting because
a judge had thrown out a previous even bigger one, right? Like $56 billion.
Exactly. Just 6 months ago. So it's quite a turnaround. Shows the lengths they'll go to keep him, despite legal challenges to his compensation.
Definitely a complex situation there. Okay, let's shift focus now to the Gaza crisis. A deeply human story amidst all this political and economic maneuvering. The humanitarian situation sounds dire.
It really does. Reports talk about catastrophic malnutrition. Thousands of Palestinians apparently resorting to eating animal feed. Just devastating.
And people actually dying from malnutrition.
Yes. One report mentioned 5 people died from it in just a 24-hour period. It's grim.
And alongside this, the agony over the hostages continues.
Very much so. There were newly released videos. An Israeli hostage, Aviatar David. He looked terribly emaciated and weak.
Like a skeleton, his brother said.
Yeah, his brother Eli called him a human skeleton and described the videos as a new form of cruelty that just shattered his parents.
God, that's awful. And those images must be intensifying pressure back in Israel.
Absolutely. Fueling outrage and really stepping up the calls for a ceasefire and a deal to bring the hostages home.
But things seem stuck, negotiation-wise.
It seems that way. Reports suggest Prime Minister Netanyahu wants to expand Israel's military operations as a way to free hostages.
While Hamas is focused on the humanitarian side first.
Right. They're demanding the humanitarian crisis be addressed before they even return to talks, so it's an impasse.
Are there international efforts trying to bridge this?
There are attempts. Hundreds of former Israeli officials actually appealed directly to President Trump, asking him to help end the war.
Interesting they'd reach out to him specifically.
It is, and his special envoy, Steve Witkoff, visited aid sites in southern Gaza. This was happening amidst all the international outcry about starvation and the lack of aid getting through.
So diplomatic channels are being explored, and some countries are taking steps on recognition.
Yes. Canada announced plans to recognize Palestine as a state. That follows similar moves or intentions from the UK and France. So you're seeing a shift in the diplomatic landscape there, different allies taking different approaches.
Okay, let's bring it back home to the U.S. domestic politics heating up as well. The Texas redistricting situation sounds pretty wild.
It really escalated. You had Texas House Republicans actually voting to authorize the arrest of Democratic lawmakers.
Arrest them? What?
Because those Democrats had fled the state. They left to break quorum and block a vote on a new redistricting plan.
And this plan would favor Republicans.
Significantly.
Yeah.
It could create potentially 5 new Republican-leaning seats in the U.S. Congress. So the stakes are really high.
And the governor got involved?
Governor Abbott, yeah. He ordered law enforcement to basically find any legislator who left, arrest them, and bring them back to the House chamber. Called it abandoning their duty.
What are the Democrats saying?
They've said they're willing to face whatever consequences. It's become a major standoff. Really shows how far partisan battles can go.
Yeah, arresting legislators. That's extreme. Meanwhile, the DOJ is looking back at 2016.
That's right. Attorney General Pam Bondi has ordered federal prosecutors to open a grand jury investigation.
Into what specifically?
Into allegations that people in the Obama administration manufactured intelligence about Russia's interference in the 2016 election.
So revisiting the whole Russiagate origin story.
Seems like it. It suggests, a continued focus on investigating past political actions, potentially holding people accountable across different administrations.
Okay. And immigration policy seems to be shifting too.
Couple of notable changes there. One, border agents were told to stop deportations under Trump's asylum ban.
So lifting that specific policy.
Effectively, yes. A pretty significant reversal. But then on the other hand, the State Department is looking at something new.
Which is?
A potential visa bond pilot program. The idea is that certain visa applicants, maybe for business or tourism, would have to post a bond maybe around $15,000.
To ensure they don't overstay their visa.
That seems to be the goal, yeah. To curb overstays. So you see these two things happening. One policy loosening restrictions, another potentially adding a significant financial barrier.
It really highlights that constant tension, doesn't it? Balancing security, controlling borders versus, access and asylum processes.
Exactly. Different administrations, different priorities, different approaches to that balancing act.
And one more domestic item, the presidential fitness test is back.
Apparently so. President Trump decided to revive the fitness test for school kids. It was dropped back in 2012 under Obama.
Why bring it back?
He cited physical and patriotic reasons, linking childhood fitness not just to health, but also to, patriotism.
Interesting framing, a throwback, in a way.
Definitely a return to a more traditional emphasis on physical preparedness for kids.
Okay, let's broaden the lens now. Look at some global and societal snapshots, things happening beyond the big political and economic headlines. Environmentally, those Canadian wildfires are still having an impact, right?
Yeah, the smoke continues to cause poor air quality down in the Midwest and Northeast U.S. Someone even compared the exposure to smoking half a pack a day.
Wow, that puts it in perspective. And there was a big marine science discovery.
A sad one, but yeah. Scientists finally figured out what killed billions with a B, billions of sea stars. Over 5 billion, apparently.
5 billion. Since when?
It was a decade-long epidemic that started back in 2013. Just wiped them out along the Pacific coast. A huge ecological loss.
Incredible numbers. Any other unusual environmental news?
Couple things. A volcano in Russia erupted, first time in over 500 years, and Australia actually saw some rare snow. So, the planet always keeps things interesting.
Definitely. Now, AI. Artificial intelligence. It's everywhere. And impacting jobs.
Seems so. A report came out saying AI is leading to thousands of job losses. That's obviously a major concern for a lot of people.
But it's not all negative, right? There are developments in how it's being used.
Right. OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, they're actually adding mental health guardrails.
Why?
Apparently the bot wasn't great at recognizing signs of delusion in users. So they're making changes so it will sort of shy away from giving direct advice in sensitive situations.
Interesting ethical challenge there.
For sure. And AI is popping up elsewhere too. And a company called Farming uses it for things like seeding and weeding. And there are tools like Aura, using AI to help parents monitor their kids' online activities. So it's spreading into many areas.
And the global picture, who's leading the AI race?
Well, the U.S. is currently seen as leading, but the reports also say China is catching up fast. Very fast.
Okay. Let's do a quick roundup of a few other notable stories. Health news.
Bit of a mix. Bad news first. Raw milk in Florida made 21 people sick with E. coli and Campylobacter. 7 ended up hospitalized.
Oof. Raw milk risks are real.
Definitely. On the positive side, though, increased screening seems to be catching colon cancer earlier, especially in the 45 to 49 age group.
That's good news.
And also, new federal data suggests teen suicide rates are actually showing a decline, which is very welcome news.
Absolutely. Okay, what about labor? Any disputes?
Yeah, Boeing. Around 200 defense workers went on strike. These are the folks who build the F-15 fighter jets.
Why strike?
They rejected a new contract offer from the company, so labor tensions continue there.
Got it. And we lost a prominent figure.
We did. Dame Stella Remington passed away at 90. She was notable for being the first female Director General of MI5, Britain's security service.
Ah, right. A trailblazer.
Indeed. And maybe the most unusual story for last.
Lay it on me.
A zoo in Denmark. They're asking the public to donate their unwanted small pets. Hamsters, guinea pigs.
Donate them for what?
To feed the zoo's predators.
Yeah.
Like lions and tigers.
You're kidding.
Nope. They say it's to mimic what its predators would eat in the wild, and I guess provide a varied diet.
Wow. Okay. That's certainly something. And finally, media news.
The New York Post is expanding, launching a new paper in Los Angeles called the California Post.
California Post. What's the angle?
Reports say it will lean in on pun-heavy headlines and culture war topics.
Sounds familiar, like their New York brand.
Exactly. Seems they think that formula will work on the West Coast, too. Culture wars as content.
It keeps coming back to that, doesn't it? Okay, last few quick hits. Pop culture.
Sure. Saquon Barkley, the Eagles star, turned down an invitation to be on Trump's sports council. Beyoncé put out a new ad for Levi's jeans, thankfully. No major controversy there.
Phew.
And Sean Diddy Combs is still in jail, waiting for his sentencing in October.
Right. Got it. Wow. What a whirlwind. We've covered so much ground.
We really have. From that American Eagle ad and the immediate stock market reaction.
Yeah, how politics and culture just slammed into economics.
All the way to the dire situation in Gaza, the hostage crisis.
The domestic political fights like in Texas, the shifts in immigration, AI's growing role.
It really shows how interconnected everything is, doesn't it? These aren't isolated events.
Absolutely not. And hopefully diving deep like this helps you, our listeners, see those connections.
Yeah, it's about getting past the surface noise, getting those specific facts, but also seeing the bigger picture. It's that shortcut to being genuinely well-informed.
So as you go about your week, here's something to think about. We saw how quickly news, especially when amplified by big names, can shape perceptions, move markets, maybe even overshadow the deeper issues.
Right. The sensational often grabs the headlines.
So how does that affect how we take in information, how we make sense of this really complex world? Something to chew on.